Hello nerds! Today I'm going to be showing you WeaponMechanics 2.0's new mechanic system. The new mechanic system consists of three components: mechanics, targeters, and conditions. Right now, we're just going to focus on the mechanic. The first and most important thing is how do you use the wiki? Well, if you go to the sidebar here, you have a full list of every single mechanic, targeter, and condition. You can also scroll down and see a quick description for each of the mechanics, for each of the targeters, and each of the conditions. All right, but now how do we actually get stuff in game? We're just going to start with the sound mechanic because it's nice and easy. We're going to click on the sound and we're going to be taken to the new wiki. And we are going to scroll down right away to examples because the examples are nice and easy. So let's go into our AK-47 file. We're going to change the shoot sound. Now, for those of you who have used our older versions, you're probably used to seeing something like this. This system does not exist anymore. In fact, you can delete the whole sound section. Instead, now everything goes in one list under mechanics. All right, we're going to do quotes, sound. We're going to say, how about entity, generic, explode. We want the volume and pitch to stay at defaults. So if we check the wiki, the default volume is 1. That's fine. Default pitch is 1. That's fine. Noise 0. That's perfect. We'll leave everything as is. So this is actually a full mechanic right here. So we can save this file. Real quick, I'm going to add a few spaces just for the viewing on the video. Okay, so we can save this and reload the plugin. And now you can hear the explosions. Okay, but we don't really want explosions. We want gun sounds. So we're going to change this to the custom sound. So let's go over to the wiki, go over to the sidebar and find custom sound. Go down to examples. All right, custom sound. Oh, look, there's already an example for the shoot AK-47. We'll type it out just for practice. All right, so custom sound. Sound is now shoot.ak47. And that's one of the custom sounds from the resource pack. And we'll set the volume to be a really high number. Let's say 6. If you check the wiki, we also have a chart to show what the different sound volumes do. All right, so we'll save this. And we'll reload. So now, we hear the AK-47 shoot sound. All right, but this sounds kind of boring, so let's spice it up a bit. If we go back into our config, we can set the pitch to some weird number. We'll save and reload. Sounds kind of cool, but it's not quite right. So we'll set pitch back to 1. But actually, since we're setting it to 1, we don't need it. And let's set the noise, the randomness, up a little bit. We'll turn it up to 0.1. And now when we shoot, you might hear slight fluctuations. I'll turn the noise up a lot so you can hear it better. Yeah, that was a little bit of a lower pitch, just a small bit. So it's nice to turn up noise to a small number so we can have little bits of fluctuation. All right, but let's say we don't want to hear this sound when we're in... what biome are we in? Frozen River. Okay, well, let's add a condition. We're going to add the biome condition, which we can view on the wiki here. Biome. And you can see we have examples here. So biome equals plains. We're going to do Frozen River instead, though. So biome is equal to Frozen River. So now when we shoot, we're only going to hear the sound if we're in the frozen river. If I go over here to the snowy plains, there's no sound. Now, what if I wanted the opposite of that? What if I wanted to only hear things in every biome except the frozen river? Well, then you go over here and we check out the negation. So if we go back to the main wiki and go down to conditions, well, that link didn't work, I'll fix that. Then we find inverted equals true or false. So if we set inverted to true, and then reload, now we won't hear the sound in the frozen river. But if we go to any other biome, here's a cool test. Let's try the cave sound. So we're going to use the light level condition. That's a new one. I actually haven't tested it yet, so this could go horribly wrong. If we go back to the wiki, we can try light level condition. And you see it has a few different options, min, max mode. It's a bit confusing, but again, we have some nice examples to look at. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to change biome to light level. We're going to get rid of this inverted stuff. And we'll change, we have to have a minimum light level of 7, we'll say. So now if we reload, this should be dark enough, but just in case, I'll go deeper into the cave. And so right now we can't hear the sound, but if I go outside in the light, yeah, okay. I guess I can code. It worked first time. I'll take it. All right, so that's a pretty good look at the simple side of mechanics. But now let's look at some harder stuff. The Firework Mechanic is by far the most complicated mechanic. It unfortunately involves a lot of weird stuff, and it involves a lot of brackets and square brackets. It's not very pretty. So let's make a really good example in this video. So now I'm going to try and not look at the wiki to see if I can cheat a bit. So we're going to start with Firework, which is the name of the mechanic, and the effects argument is the main argument. And the effects is a list, which means we have to use square brackets. And each effect is its own special object, which means we have to use curly brackets. And now we define the color, and the color is the only required argument you need. Everything else is set by default. So this is the most basic firework we can do. Let's save that and test it. Hey, there you go, firework. It's not exactly what we wanted though. So let's try and customize the shape a little bit. So let's go back into here and say shape is equal to creeper. Save and reload. And now we got a creeper head. Cool. All right, let's change the colors around. How do we define multiple colors? Well, if you want to have multiple colors in one shape, then you're going to have to make another list. Inside this list, you can have as many colors as you want. So we'll say red, green, and blue. These are hex codes. If you're not familiar with them, you can Google hex codes. There's more information about that on the wiki. All right, so now when we shoot, get a nice colorful creeper. But what if we want the particles to fade to a whole nother color? Let's do that. So now we have to add the fade color argument, and we'll set that to white. All right, and now the particles fade to white. But wait, there's more. We only have one of these objects right now. What if we copied and pasted it? Now I'm going to have to zoom out so you guys aren't going to be able to see anything. What a bummer. But trust me, I copied and pasted it twice. So now we have two different objects in there. If we reload the plugin, we should now see 2 creeper heads. And we do. But what if I wanted to put on a firework show? So instead of having 1 firework that explodes instantly, I wanted to have maybe 10 fireworks that go up in the air. Oh, well, now we're getting into some even harder stuff. So let's simplify our firework a bit. Let's delete all of this and go back to just color is equal to red so you guys can see stuff. Now let's go back to the wiki. So we have this flight time argument, which is by default 0, which means it explodes instantly. But if we add flight time, let's say 5 seconds is 100 ticks. We'll save and test. That lasts for a long time. That's all right. Let's try it a few times. So now whenever you shoot your AK-47, you create a kind of sad firework show. Well, let's make it kind of cool. So we're going to add a repeat amount 10. So repeat amount didn't actually come from the Firework Mechanic wiki. It actually came from the main wiki, because you can use repeat amount, repeat interval, and delay before play in any of these mechanics, which allows you to do repetitions, which adds delays. It's pretty useful. So if we save this and test, we should see 10 fireworks. I didn't count them, but I'm pretty sure that's 10. All right, well, there's a few other things we could try. So let's add the world targeter. The world targeter targets every single entity in the world. We can view that on the wiki here if we go to the world targeter. But let's save that and go back into game. And we don't have any entities nearby, so I'm just going to get a pig spawn egg and spawn in a couple pigs. So now we should get a cool firework show. Oh, jeez. Okay, obviously there were entities in other locations, so use that targeter very sparingly. Actually, let's add in a second condition. So what if I only wanted it to target pigs? Well, easy. You can add in condition entity type entity equals pig, and I got that from the entity type wiki. So now if I save, reload, the usual, now only these guys. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's figure out what we changed. You are missing required config option type. Oh! I misspelled it on the wiki. I'll have to fix that. That's my bad. I'm going to change this to be entity in the future, but right now it's type. That's my bad. All right, but what if we reload? And now when we shoot, only the pigs spawn the fireworks. You see that no other entities in the area. And just to prove that a little bit better, I'll spawn in some chickens and try that again. So you see the pigs are now the sources of the fireworks, but the chickens, not so much. But now, when I did that, all those pigs over there, those pigs over there, I just wanted these 3 pigs to spawn fireworks. So now let's add in another condition. Condition range max 10 blocks. So now when I shoot, only those 2 pigs spawn the fireworks, because those are the only pigs within a 10 block radius. Alright, I think I've been talking for long enough, and I did find that little bug. This is going to be entity. I will change this. Do not listen to my tutorial for type. But hopefully you now get a pretty good idea of how to use mechanics and how to add targeters, conditions. There's all kinds of other arguments on the wiki, some of which are really confusing. For example, viewers and viewer conditions, I'm going to be posting a completely separate video for, because other mechanics like the sound and custom sound also have those. But for now, do some experimentation, have some fun, make some pigs, send off some fireworks, maybe spawn an unholy number of fireworks and crash your game. Yeah, all right, good luck.